And I'd like to thank all the religious leaders over many, many years who formed a coalition and a commitment, not only for the Interfaith Breakfast, but for many issues confronting our city. I thank you for your great commitment to the people of the city of Chicago, of coming together and working out problems on a daily basis on behalf of our citizens. I firmly believe that the faith base is a strong point in Chicago's history, our past, our present, and the future. And to me, I am personally thankful for what you have accomplished and what we have accomplished together on behalf of this great city. I've had the great privilege of reading and reading about and listening to our keynote speaker here very shortly, Dr. Freeman A. Rabowski, who's President of the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, which I look forward to his wonderful presentation and thank him for being here. To all the elected officials, to Governor Quinn, to Mark Kirk and Congressman Quigley and Lisa Madigan and Anita Alvarez and all the elected officials, the aldermen, state senators, and representatives, these are your public servants. They work on behalf of all of us, regardless of their political party. They're here truly as public servants, and I thank them and their families for their great commitment they have made to their office. Let's give them a round of applause and thank all the public officials that are here today and all those that work in government that firmly believe that they can make a difference here in our city. I'd like to take a moment of silence for three men that have a huge influence upon my life and upon the city, who have passed away in the last few months. And of course, Dr. Bishop Brazier, who has been a friend of mine, a friend of my family's, and a great part of Chicago's history. Michael Scoff from the West Side, president of the Park District and president of the school board, that gave his time and love on behalf of the people of the city of Chicago. And Fred Rice, the commissioner, first African-American police commissioner in the history of the city of Chicago, appointed under late Harold Washington. That he has passed away. These three men are part of our great Chicago history, a great commitment of public service and dedication. And let's have a moment of silence, not only for them, but also your loved ones who have passed away as well. Amen. All three of these individuals had a huge effect upon me. And all three of these individuals knew that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. had effect upon them. In the great history of the city of Chicago, when you think of Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. and what he accomplished at such a young age, and we have to educate our young people. I hope someday that all schools are open today for education program in every one of our public and private schools throughout America to teach the history of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. This is not a holiday to shop. This is not a holiday just to relax. It's a reflection of what a young man accomplished in such a short time in his life. And we talk about civility today. It's a word now being bantered around quite heavily. I thought my parents and grandparents taught me civility, respect for my elders, respect of children, respect for women, respect for people in positions. All of a sudden we talk about civility. How can we have civility today when anyone in America has a right to a gun in their home, in their street, any place in America? We're missing the point. We always have civility. It comes from your family, it comes from your religious beliefs. But all of a sudden we have to talk about a tragedy about civility. It's a tragedy that Dr. Martin Luther King knew, and he saw tragedy throughout his whole life. But he's nonviolent. He ended up as a victim. And today in America, the right to a gun says, I have more rights than anyone else. And to me, that is a sad expression as we celebrate 25 years of this interfaith breakfast, to look upon America and we still can kill people and we talk about civility. We only talk about civility. We do not talk about the gun manufacturers. We don't talk about all the wealthy people making money off a tragedy, but we talk about civility. Civility. When someone has a gun at any point in your life that can make a difference in your family's life, and we have to talk about civility. Because that's the best word, because we politicians are afraid of the gun manufacturers. We business leaders are afraid of the gun manufacturers. We religious leaders are afraid of the gun manufacturers. They have the power from Washington to Springfield to any part of this country because they have the money. They have the power. Some way we've lost our way in America, that a gun can decide your family dispute. A gun can decide what takes place in the state capitol or the national capitol. And we have to talk about civility. We don't talk about the power of money over those that influence you on a daily basis. And I hope all of you reflect upon Dr. Martin Luther King's life. He ended in tragedy by a gun, but nothing has changed in America. We have more guns today. We have more pistols today and more ammunition to destroy ourselves. And we have to talk about civility, because you know why? Politically correct, that's the best way to talk about it. Don't talk about the real issue of gun violence because we are afraid of the gun manufacturers. We see too much violence in America. But why is it everyone's afraid to speak up about one issue? We may criticize, politicians criticize the bankers every day. They criticize all Wall Street. But no one can criticize the gun industry because they have the money. And I guess the money walks and talks. And that is what's taking place in America. This debate will go on about civility. We'll hear it for months by the media. But when is the media going to talk about gun violence, how many guns that are in society, what is taking place in America? And that is the answer to be asked continually. Get the answer from those who you vote upon. Where do you stand on the gun manufacturers? The only industry in America, you can sue anybody in this room. Anyone in this room except a gun manufacturer who's in the next room, you can never sue. But you can sue everybody else. But you cannot sue that gun manufacturer. To me, what is happening to America? What is happening to us? Have we lost our way? Have we learned anything from this man of vision? Have we learned anything? Some way, I guess we've lost our way. But I hope, and not this tragedy in Tucson, but a tragedy in Chicago. That 9-year-old child that got killed did not have a name recognition. He had a mother. His father was someplace. But he got killed. Don't we react the same way there? We talk about civility. That's strictly gun violence. But now we have to talk about civility. And I hope that all of us leave today, that we give our efforts in regards to mentoring younger people. Getting involved in your school, getting involved in your church, getting involved in your mosque, your synagogue, and come back with a better feeling about this great country. This is a great country. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. died for this country. He died for this country and the changes that it made. And when you look at the White House, President Barack Obama at the White House, what a great change for a young country in the world. It would take centuries for that to happen in any other country, but it happened here in America. And America is too good. We are too good. We are a grateful nation. We're a nation of giving, a nation of helping continually. But at the same time, we have to look within ourselves. And I hope today, as you move back to your offices, as you go back to your families this weekend, you think about all those young children gunned down who did not have a name, a big name or recognition, just going to school, just walking on one side of the street. But someone said, I have a right to a gun and I have a right to assassinate you or kill you. And that's what America has to come to grips with. Not about civility, about the gun violence, that a person has the right to a gun, that a person has a right to anything he or she wants with that gun. Until they answer that question, we have a long way to go. But I hope in Chicago, this year, we can answer it in a tougher way, in a passionate way, of reaching out to that child that doesn't have any love, that child that's been disregarded by their family and by society, that reaching hand and saving one child, you save a generation. I hope you make that commitment for Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Say, from today on, I'm going to affect one child this year. If you do, you answered his vision. God bless you and thank you.